Live to regret it later. How's the saying go? It says, damn, I can't even think of it, man. Tried to come on here super prolific. Kevin says, I miss Danny. I miss him too, man. Gosh almighty. I miss him too. I miss 2017. I believe that was the year of Danny. That was a hell of a year, man. A lot of shit was going on back in 2017. Yanni was a part of the show. Shiflet. Sir Savage says, can you turn the mic up? I cannot, man. The mic is turned up as high as I can get that thing without that thing peaking, man. If you're having audio issues, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, and my mic is probably also one. So this older guy, he reaches out to me on Facebook, on the After Prison Facebook page, and he's like, hey, man, I saw Danny or some shit like that. So I was like, yeah, bullshit, whatever. So we line up a call, and I was like, hey, funny talking with you. This is kind of ironic, And he was like, what do you mean? I said, well, you probably rock with After Prison Show, and now you and I were on the phone together. He's like, I don't watch you. Matter of fact, I've never even heard of you. And I'm like, oh, shit. Okay. I got a little bit of pie on my face, But Buddy put me in my place quick. This man is like borderline dementia. John says, ain't Danny the one that stole our donations and ran? No, that is definitely not Danny. Danny had 2 different GoFundMes. Went to Massachusetts for the second one. Spent all of that money up there visiting his family who he hadn't seen in 40 years. I'll never forget when he came back, I'd already sent him all the money, and I was like, but he's going to come back with all these gifts. He's going to come back with all sorts of shit. And he did come back with a handful of stuff, but it was just like all this random shit. Like this big dumbass Bluetooth speaker, a MacBook. I'm like, you don't even know how to use a freaking Bluetooth. What you doing with a MacBook? Bought like 2 motorcycles up there. I'm like, what are we doing? Pat, shout out to you, man. Hi from Latvia. I cannot pronounce that, but if that's the place that I'm thinking of, that is a very beautiful place. There's actually a YouTuber, an ASMRist, that I watched who I believe is from there. And, yeah. I want to share with you guys something that I'm getting ready to do, and I'm getting ready to start this tomorrow. I'm definitely doing like a lot more skit work. Over on Joe Does Stuff, I just did one about like a Facebook Marketplace deal that went bad. It wasn't that great, but I'm doing more skit work and just like random skit work too. However, I keep talking about the fact that I want to share with you guys the story of how I created the prison genre. And then in the last live stream I was sharing with you guys, I said, you know what? That shit don't even matter. Don't nobody care about that. So when I tell you that I started thinking to myself, I was like, yo, what if, hear me out now. I copy her, okay? But I do it way better. Like I do it what she's doing, but I try to do it way better, I should say. What if I told my whole little story like that? Just doing the dumb little skit shit like that. Earlier today I was writing. I do a lot of writing. So I'm writing out like this storyline. And I'm like, how would I do this? So I'm starting to formulate like this idea of how I could share the story of how a guy like me blew up, was never going to amount to shit, but I got to go way back quickly from my first trip to prison. Because you see, what I got popular for was based off of my second trip to prison, but there might be those that don't even know I went to prison one time before that. Joe was a real winner. And, breeze through that shit in quick form little, videos. Do it all in, reels and shorts. Try to tell it in a totally different way to get more familiar with the way of the world and the lay of the land nowadays, because that's all people are doing is that short form. I got to get the hernia squared away. I got 5 cavities. I woke up this morning with arthritis in this hand. No bullshit. Ever since I met the dude that's got Parkinson's disease, and he told me that it all started with feeling leaving from his thumb. I'm a necrophiliac. I mean, a paraplegic. Like, what's the word when you, what's the word? Where everything is wrong with you? I don't know if this is going to work. Aaron, what's going on? What happened yesterday? Oh, shit. Don't mind me, man. I'm just baiting. But no, we definitely need to talk about yesterday's video. I don't even remember what yesterday's video was. Oh, that's right. It was visiting with Tom. Son of a gun, man. Shout out to old Tom trying to hold his head up and weather the storm. A lot of comments going in on our boy right there, and it's crazy to think. I'm still trying to root for him. People were telling me, Joe, you need to be leery, you need to be cautious. You got to do that with everybody. You know? Buddy's in an unfortunate situation. Drugs put him there. A lot of talk about his case, which I don't even want to get into because that's an open case. So, Steven says, Josephine. I haven't shared a video visit from Jellicoe yet. I tried to do one, and my dumb ass didn't even record it. Second time I done something like that. Aussie Uploads, what's going on? Every time I see that name, I wonder if you're this one person. And then I think, nah, you can't be. There's a guy from Australia that really does not like me. Sometimes he does like me. Other times he can't stand me. I don't think that that's you, though. Private Ross, would you pay for a video editing class? No. I'm no pro. I mean, there's teenagers who are better at editing on CapCut than I am. And I do use CapCut for some of my editing, but I use Sony Vegas for all of the rest. I'm not trying to be a whiz editor because Joe don't be filming in no S-Log or B-Log or C-Log or anything like that. Joe just be filming in straight auto. I've picked up a new hobby, filmmaking. I'm not trying to be anything special, but I have been doing a lot of filming. Shit that you wouldn't even think I'd be doing. The zombie flick, the gay zombie flick, is something I've been toying around with a little bit. But I've really been, I've got a couple of little scenes filmed for that movie. For example, I'm going to share this with you. Yesterday we were doing this. If I've only got one person, it's really difficult to do some shit, but I can still do some stuff. I thought about creating an OnlyFans, but I think more likely what I'm going to do is if you want to see this type of shit, you got to be a member. But yesterday I ended up with a man and a woman, and I'm like, oh man, this is great. This is the first time that I've had more than one person to film with. They don't know each other. I barely know them. I don't know if they can act or not. Twice in recent weeks, I filmed a video without even hitting record. This morning, I filmed a banger of a video that gets absolutely destroyed because it gets corrupted. The file gets corrupted. And then this is legitimately the second time that I'm starting this live stream. My dumb ass was talking to y'all for like 5 minutes before I realized we wasn't even live. I had a whole totally different title for this. And don't think for a second, I got plenty of content for Joe Does Stuff. I just ain't had a chance to edit it. For whatever reason, there's just been too much other stuff that's been going on. Donnie says, can we get a TV update? Worst decision of my life. Supposedly I bought 10, but realistically I only paid for 5. And of those 5, I only got 3. And I ain't even talked to the dude because I ain't even sold one of those TVs. Haven't sold one TV. So essentially I was to buy 10 TVs for $300. That was $30 a TV. I gave the guy $150 and said I'd be back. And he ain't bothered to contact me, and I ain't bothered to contact him. So really what I got was 3 TVs for $50. Trying to sell them bitches for $100. Them shits ain't going nowhere. I've got more music on the way. I've been doing a lot of music. I found out today how much money I've made in selling shit through the thrift store. And I was like, damn, this is going to be good, right? Like, how much did I do? Because I done sold some shit. I put a lot of shit up in there. So, I was talking with the owner today. We were talking about numbers with other things, and I'm not going to go into that. I said, I'm curious. What have I done in the consignment? She showed me for the last week. I've done $145. You know what I didn't ask her? Because, you know, it's like we split it 50-50. So what I didn't ask her was, hey, is that with the split already, or are we splitting $145? So I don't necessarily know that, because if we are splitting $145, well, that ain't much. That's like $70. It probably does not include the split. So it'd be probably safe to say that I've made about $70 in the last week on consignment. I'm not really sure how that works. But since I've been doing the consignment, which has probably been less than a month, maybe about a month, I've done like $991. So even if that doesn't include the split, you know, I don't like that. I don't like not knowing if that includes the split or not. It probably doesn't. But nonetheless, whatever. I know that shit sounds silly to people. They're like, Joe, you're going to make a gay zombie flick. Like, what is this? You're going to get canceled. Man, when I tell you that this is about to be something for real, all jokes aside, everybody that I share this idea with out here and I show them like what we've already done, they're like, yo, man, hey, that look like it's going to be something. Joe Money. I ain't Joe Money right now. I'm Joe Penny. Someday, maybe. Maybe. Probably not. Alexa says, gay zombie movie vid already been done, Joe. Okay. Not like the way we're going to do it. The chick that I am copying, you know, me creating this content from, which I'm okay saying that. She's who I'm copying. I'm not even inspired by her. I'm just straight copying her. I'm going to do mine and do mine my way. I ain't going to say I'm going to do them better. And I don't even got to think about the skit ideas no more. I just go look at what she done did and do it my way. That's what they all did to me. The shoes on the, hey, ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. You about to see Joe come up out of that hole, man. Blake says too many Modelos. John, shout out to you. Joe just wants to watch zombies pegging each other. If you missed my live stream yesterday, we were actually talking about the gay corn industry. The Enforcer says, Joe, get that hernia fixed ASAP. I know, man. I ain't got no choice. I got to do it. I have not done the first thing in relation to that. I keep thinking about how, like, great things will be afterwards. Like, I'll be able to get back to working out. I won't even give a shit if I'm fat. I'll have my shirt off. Because, damn it, at least I ain't got a little titty coming out my belly button. Is what it looks like right now. I really wanted to come on here and put on in a major way, because my worst fear is doing these live streams and they suck. Donate to support After Prison Show. That sounds like a good idea.